Good evening everyone, and thanks for tuning into the video tonight. Not going to keep these too long, but we do have a little playlist that we like to add content to called Football Index History. I've not been in the playlist for a while, so I couldn't tell you every video that's in it, but we try and track key moments or vital points of the season, big things that change on the index, and put them into that. So for me, for you, for anyone, you can refer back to these things before they happen again. History repeats itself, of course, as we know, and you can get a gauge of what the feeling was like, what kind of increases, decreases to expect, that type of thing. Okay, so we're going to be having a wee chat about what we think, or what we pretty much know at this point, I would suggest, is going to be announced tomorrow. Now, before we get our teeth into it, I just want to say we dropped a video earlier today, Monday the 29th of July, with FI Manager, and we recorded it on Friday, just gone. We released it today. I think it went out about 12 or something like that, and around that time news came out that it looks like Falcao is going to be moving to Galatasaray. So when the video went out, he was 26 pence, he's now 27 pence. If you do have him, err on the side of caution is probably the official phrase I would want to put against it. He's still 27 pence. If you're still holding him, it's up to you, but if you miss a Galatasaray, you'll still have European football, and it would just mean it'd be a longer hold for you, really, to be honest. You might want to look at Sardar Azmoun, for somebody who doesn't play PB League. He's much younger, and there's a lot of different things that go on with him, but some of these players that don't play PB Leagues that have the ability to earn you money in any fashion, and Europa League and Jesus Christ, Europa League and different things. Just try to put year. There we go. They will rise as they get fixtures. You can see that here back at this point here when he moved to Zenit, and it's like, oh, he's going to be playing European football, whatever. So it's not the end of the world. It looks like maybe only one person's bought 300 of them, or it might be 3 people have bought 100 of them, whatever. But err on the side of caution, and you might want to reevaluate that decision. As have I did have him, and I quick sold him. Okay, because I don't want to hold a player in Turkey for my fantasy team, and if you don't know what the fantasy team is, there'll be videos about that coming out. And we're also doing another video following up from the backing a team strategy that we've got running side by side with fantasy football. Anyway, all that's done with, right? So as you can see, the market's went up quite considerably the last couple of days. The last time we did a video, we were chatting about the market cap, it was at 106, and it really hovered around that period, that level for a long period of time. And then within a matter of maybe 2 days, something like that, we've popped up to 107, and that is anticipation of the news that's coming to us. We all expect it is going to be something to the tune of the PB matrix changing. Now, the interesting thing about this, right, is we all voted, or contributed opinions at least, to what the changes should be and what we think merits more reward and less reward. Okay, so based on that, us as a community, we've given Football Index, we've said to them, these are the things that we value the most. We value a header over a tackle, or a tackle over a header, or whatever you picked in the survey. I don't remember all the questions, but I remember picking key passing, which I think everyone else does. So key passing is most likely going to be a stat that gets boosted, or maybe becomes OP. Okay, now, sorry there. Now, the thing with these things, you can go back and look at the history playlist, right? Whenever there's seismic changes to the market, and what I would call a seismic change is when it's the stage where for the announcement they have to close the market down. Okay, now if you're not familiar with this, right, some of you will be newer users, okay, and I won't bore you with this too long, right? They didn't always do market suspensions before news. They would just do news and then just let you go for it like piranhas in water. And some people, or a lot of people, were very upset by that, because the announcement would be maybe 6 o'clock in the evening, quite normal, and it would be like, oh, I was commuting, didn't have a signal, didn't know, as soon as I'm fucked now, or So they now do market closures around any, what I would call a seismic change. It's going to fundamentally change the way the market is currently lying, and you can already see some of the players that look to be the ones that are going to benefit from this the most, from the speculation from the community. The main one being Jadon Sancho. Now I'm going to go out and I don't even think it's much for him. Based on what I'm looking at right now, if I would expect him to get to £6 tomorrow. I think you could get a 10% rise out of him tomorrow. Maybe not the full, 10% would also take me £6.20, but I definitely see him getting to £6 tomorrow. If the news is what we believe and anticipate. So there will be 2 or 3 players. I remember the split, it was Van Dijk and Raheem Sterling did really well for me anyway, and there was another 1 or 2 players, obviously guys like Neymar did pretty well. Pogba did really good after the split for like a day, and then he went backwards for a while. It was a bit bizarre. Same with, or was that Neymar? One of them did that anyway, it doesn't matter. You can go watch the video, you see it for yourself. But there will be, so on that note, there will be players who will fly away, and if you are getting on them, you've got a real judgment call on your hands. Like some of you guys would have got on Bale earlier this week when the news broke he wasn't going to China, and some of you might have bottled it and like sold out, you know, before he got to, what did he peak at, like 228, 225? You know, if you're picking him up at, I think I seen a low of 158 for Bale. If you had him at 158, 165, somewhere around there, and you didn't quite get to that £2 mark, you'll probably be quite disappointed with yourself. But again, and then since then, since he's got to 225, 228, whether he peaked out at 232, whoa. So yeah, when you peaked out there, you'll probably be kicking yourself a little bit like, oh, I didn't quite make the most of that or whatever. But again, when you do get sudden sea changes like this, Bale is now £2.18, he's not 2.32, he's not 2.50, he's not £3, he's 2.18. Because a lot of the money that's going to cycle into these positions, they get a flood of news or something breaks or whatever, or short termers, you know, and you can kind of contrast that. So there'll be some short termers, there'll be some long termers, and I would kind of use Pepe as the counterbalance to that, because Pepe, I made a comment before in a video saying he's the most boring hold I've ever had. He's just been so narrow movements for so long. It looks like he's going to Napoli. He drops down to 250. I never seen him at 250. I seen him at 254, 257 definitely. But he drops down in there because people think he's going to Napoli, he's not going to Liverpool, Man United, whatever. And then all of a sudden he's going to Arsenal, and then boom. But again, some of those people I would suspect are returning holders, and then you've got maybe some new people or some people putting some more money on the table. But that's something that's, he's basically just, oh, that thing we all thought isn't going to happen. And then it's, oh crap, it's happening. all within real quick succession, you know, it did all, anyway. So these are the things to be mindful of. Pepe, Bale as an example, when you're buying into people when the market reopens, okay? Some of them will be great holds, and you know, you won't need to worry about sleeping on it and you wake up and you've lost like 20p of profit and you think, oh, I should have sold when it was a bit higher or whatever, maybe even break even in some cases depending on when you get on them. But it's thinking, do you know what, this player, who is it? They've really popped, they've really risen. Why? Musa's doing pretty well tonight, isn't he? Second rise, somebody like Sancho, for example. If Sancho gets to £6, look at the price of Mbappe. Sancho doesn't really give you, if anything, on Football Index, he gives you more than Mbappe because he's English and he's always going to get extra media, you know. So if Sancho does catch up closer to Mbappe, gets that £6 barrier tomorrow, it's quite a safe bet he's going to be hanging about that price for a fair period of time. If somebody like, oh, I don't know. It's really hard to pull out an arbitrary example in Football Index because anything can happen. You know, it really can. You know, you could say something like, oh, Werner won't be £3 tomorrow. It might be. You know, it does. You just never know. You know, it's so mental sometimes when things happen. You're like, where the hell did that come from? Guys are also expecting Foden to pop up, and Foden's somebody who we've been so close to buying a couple of times when he was at £3, when he was around £3.50 again. You know, these are nice milestones, and you think, and then you close your eyes and open them, and he's £3.82. But so some of you guys, I'm talking about transactions you will make post announcement, right? And there's obviously a lot of transactions pre-announcement for the announcement, if that makes sense, okay? Now, with my own portfolio, I'm not going to go through the portfolio with you right now because there's some stuff in there I need to save for the next video that I was going to do today, because I forgot that, you know, I should probably do an announcement. I can have a preview video of tomorrow, not preview, but a kind of chat video about tomorrow. So that'll probably come tomorrow. There's probably some chance I'm not going to record anything else tonight. But some of you will be sitting there right now, like me, very happy with how your portfolio is sitting, and, you know, bring the news on. I'm not really too bored what happens on the day, on that week. My portfolio, I'm really happy with it for an array of reasons. And the announcement, if it is what I think it is, my players should be fine anyway. I'm not too bored about it, and that's cool, okay? Now, from experience, what I would always say is if you could free up a little bit of capital, or you might have a little bit of capital available, these are not bad opportunities to just stick a wee couple of quid on. Not worry too much about how it's going to affect your balance sheet and your profit margin overall, your Twitter bragging rights or whatever. But it's alright to have a couple of quid spare to just, and I've got £76 there. That's not for the thing tomorrow. I might mess about with like 40 quid or something, but yeah, it's a bit of fun, and that's what Football Index is about, guys, is having fun, and if you can free up a little bit, sell 2 of him, sell 5 of him, sell 4 of him, sell 1 of him, I'll get 30 quid there. I'll just mess about with that tomorrow, all profit basically, or whatever, then cool. But it is very important, if you're buying post announcement, that you are wary of who you're buying, why, and who else is buying them and why, and be very careful of that. So as you can see from the marketplace here, I've kind of babbled for a little bit there, I do apologise, sorry. But we are expecting a big increase to key passing. I think we're expecting a big increase in dribbling too. And I think we're expecting as well the goalkeepers to maybe get a bit of love. How overall valuable that will be, who knows, yet time will tell. Don't think it's not going to make them more valuable than an outfield player, certainly. But it's just bridging that gap a little bit. It's all they need to do to make me happy anyway. Maybe increase the clean sheet dividend, or make the scoring perhaps more favourable for them to win best defender, goalkeeper on a day. It could be a few things, but there's going to be a lot of players in the squad player section that will get a lot of love tomorrow as well. And the thing with the squad player section, it is a real lucky dip with post announcement who's really going to benefit. There'll be some guys like Forsberg's getting a lot of love now, and I can totally see why. The guy is a bit injury prone. He's not actually too great a footballer to watch. He's quite slow, quite big, but his stats are mental. He's really, really solid player, really, really good. And from what everyone believes, the change will be to the... Oh, he's listed as a forward. That must be new. I'm sure he's always been a midfield. Anyway, but yeah, so that gives you a good indication of the type of player we think is going to increase tomorrow. Is creative, solid midfielders that will contribute kind of all over the pitch, box to box. That is in Savernier. He's got a bit of a rise because people dumped him because of a suspected injury. It seems to be okay. But yeah, so if you're not too sure about if you're worried about tomorrow, oh Jesus, look at Douglas. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you'll know I've held big in this guy a few times. I've just missed the boat on him. I sold him a bit too early. Sold him at like 56 pence, I think, 58 pence. Or something. I've always had hundreds of them. I'm not too bothered. So you want to make more money, don't you? At that money, I moved it elsewhere and it did well. Anyway, so these are the types of midfielders we expect to do well. I don't think it will show post announcement, but I think some centre defenders are going to become much more competitive against the fullbacks in terms of scoring. I think there might be some change, maybe like headers or tackles. I don't know, but I think there will have to be some minor readdress with how favourable some fullbacks can be in terms of the scoring, and give the centre half something that gives them a level playing field, more opportunity to win. And I don't think that will be overly apparent to the community until we get some matches underway and you see, oh wow, his average PB last year was 87. We've played 3 games this year against okay opponents, and his average PB is now 94, or 102. His form's not really that different on that season versus that last season, but it's the matrix has changed. His scoring has went up for the different elements of this person's game that we're talking about. The matrix now benefits more than it previously did. But you can see all overall, guys, it's about guys who are making crosses, making passes, making dribbles. These are all the players that are getting a bit of love now. Some of them are getting a little bit of love for different reasons, but this is what we expect to happen tomorrow. Chances are you will have players that match that description in your portfolio, because we all love to buy those players, we all do. I'll give you a little bit of something before we go, guys. Okay, so the next video I will be showing you somehow, without making a deposit, we went and got ourselves 84 Madison. We got it for the announcement and after the announcement. If you look at Leicester's fixtures, they are sick the first month of the season. This guy's got a real shot at getting into the England team that will be announced for the games at the middle of September. So he was in a great position. We were going to be buying him at 285, but where we got our funds from, we didn't get them released until he was 291. And I'll show you why that's not even a bad thing. We've actually made money doing it that way. Even though we've bought Maddison at a slightly more expensive price, we've still made money by buying him at that time versus quick selling and, you know, whatever else as well. I expect to see Maddison do well tomorrow. I think saying he'll get to £3 is an understatement. I think he'll do really well tomorrow, and I think as this month, I think by the time the England squad comes out, I think you'll see him at £4. Unless they've just been so good pre-season, they're so smart, you know, with what they've done. I was listening to it on the radio the other day. They're so smart with what they've done pre-season. They've not got European football. They've had a stellar start to this, you know, preparation for the season to come, and we all fancy their team. We all think their team are going to do well and whatever as well. So these are the kind of things you need to be thinking about. Is who's going to benefit? Am I on them? Can I get on them? Well, I'll wait and see what happens. Who knows, guys? I would love to get some comments. I know the announcement's tomorrow at 7 o'clock, but I'd love to get some comments below. If you've stayed all the way to this part of the video, I'll know you have. If you've made it here, right, I want a comment from you to say who you think is going to benefit the most from the changes you expect this time next month, let's say. Okay, and then we'll come back in a month and we'll have a look at the comments. So if you're still here, get involved in it, so that'll be a fun video we do next month. If you're new around here and you've liked the babbling, the chat, and the bit of a heads up we've tried to do ahead of tomorrow, it's hard to predict. We have an announcement tomorrow, you know, beyond the fact that we all know we did a survey previously and whatever. But if you're new around here, like, share, subscribe, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care, bye-bye.